The people of the Russia and Ukraine were once closely intertwined, like culturally, historically, and economically. Like, how did they become from friends to foes, fighting each other? Where hundreds of billions of dollars have been poured for the aid of Ukraine and millions of Ukrainians seeking refuge in other countries. It is the biggest war since the World War II, which is likely happening for more than 3 years. What caused this particular war? What are the reasons behind it? Let's unpack this. It all started in the year 1917, where the 300-year rule of the Tsar monarch, with Moscow being at its core, came to an end. Due to several reasons like Russo-Japanese War and the effects of World War One weakened their system and their people were struggling. So many reforms have been broken out and people fighting each other for welfare and their rights. Due to which impacts, the monarch abdicated his rule and it came to an end. Civil wars broke out between people and their parties, likely at the 1922 under the leadership of Vladimir Lenin, like leaders like Stalin and his war general formed the party USSR, United Soviet Republics, with Russia at its core along with four other republics. The USSR Communist Party has started its rule, promising people's welfare and other reform methods. So after the World War II happened, the USSR have expanded to 15 republics with Russia at its center. All 15 republics have started working together for their security, welfare, and the good of their people. This caused a major turnback event in the West where North Atlantic Treaty Organization have been formed, like major parties including the United States being its biggest member. So what happened was the NATO expansion were surging. Number of countries were started joining the NATO, likely causing a weakened system among the USSR. The NATO influence was too much, like at exactly the year 1991, the USSR came to an collapse. Their government seems to be outdated, their economic conditions were not that good, causing the collapse of the USSR. All other state republics given independence by themselves, and Russia along with 14 other countries were independent now. But the next part is the NATO expansion. Every other countries in the NATO joined and pulled their neighboring countries, promising security and military support, where the Article 5 of NATO clearly stated the fact attack on one member equals to attack on all, which is if any of the countries in the NATO have been attacked by any other countries, it is considered as the attack was on all other countries in the NATO as well. This is the biggest reform of the NATO. So countries started joining the NATO, and what happened at one particular stage was almost everyone who were under the Moscow's influence have drastically moved towards the NATO benefits, due to which the Ukraine is the most border part of the Russia. It has also started its dream to join NATO, and talks were being publicly ongoing that Ukraine is going to join NATO. But the other side is Russia, the Russians' fear have been increasing because Russians have been invaded by so many invasions like the Mongolian invasion, Napoleon Bonaparte at 1812. These kind of invasions have caused severe drawbacks in the Russian and their people, causing millions of deaths. So this past drama of years have been Russia's key critic. Like they they feel insecure by this NATO expansion, so claiming that Ukraine should not join the NATO. So despite that efforts, Russia have been taking the stand that Ukraine should not join NATO. Ukraine constantly trying its best to join NATO. Ultimately, Russia started its military operations, likely the Georgia War and the annexation of Crimea at the year 2014. These many efforts have been taken by Russia, and ultimately Ukraine's talks about joining NATO were literally increasing. So it caused the invasion of Russia into Ukraine's border in the year 2022. This is the core reason behind it. Like Russia is literally standing alone, meanwhile the Ukraine has been gaining direct support from multiple alliances like the US, UK, and so on. Hundreds of billions of dollars have been poured for Ukraine's aid, but there were no direct allies supporting Russia. Meanwhile, the NATO claims it has expanded due to control the Russian aggression. Meanwhile, Russia seeking their strength to strengthen its border. Russia claiming that Ukraine should not join NATO. These are the core reasons behind why the Russian-Ukraine war has been going on, causing so many disruptions in the trade systems along the globe. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.